Hi guys, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande.
Welcome back to Swift Tutorials. It has been quite some time that we have done Swift tutorials. Quite a lot of things have happened since then. The main thing is my Xcode got updated, and as per the new Xcode, the latest version of Swift that I am using is 4.0. And by the time we ended the discussion of structures in the previous video, this is the code we ended the video with. But if you open the same code in the latest Xcode, it will give you a compilation error saying that uint max is no more valid, because as per Swift 4.0, instead of using uint max, you should use uint 64. So let me just change that, and that should basically fix the issue for itself. So when we ended the discussion, what we had basically seen was, instead of using struct, if I had just replaced it with class, everything would have worked perfectly fine. So basically, there is not much difference between a class and a struct in Swift. The way you initialize the instance variables, the way you write initializers, member-wise initializers, and even the methods inside struct or inside a class would pretty much remain same. Then you would be wondering, what is the difference between a class and a struct? Well, one of the major difference is class is a reference type and struct is a value type. Depending upon the programming background that you might come from, this might be second nature to you. But I would like to just demonstrate the idea. I am going to declare another variable sample book2, and assign sample book. And if I now print sample book2 dot display info, it is going to display me the same information. Both of them are referring to same instance. Now if I change some value in sample book2, so let me change sample book2 dot author to some random value. Just observe what happens. The author for both sample book and sample book2 got changed. Instead of class, if I had made it struct, just observe the difference. Now the sample book author name is still the same old Anil Deshpande, and if I change the sample book2 dot author name, then whatever the modified name that I am applying, it only applies to sample book2 dot author, because both of them are not referring to the same instance. They are completely two different instances. So when I say sample book2 equals to sample book, I am actually copying all the values of sample book into sample book2. But that was not the case earlier when I was using class. In that case, they were basically referring to the same instance of sample book in the memory. And that is why when I changed sample book2's author value, it got reflected both for sample book and sample book2. This is one difference, that is class is reference type and struct is a value type. Other than that, another difference is classes can work with inheritance. That is, if you are from any object-oriented programming language background, one class can extend another class. You have a super class and you have a subclass, or a parent class or a child class. What I am basically trying to say here is, I can create another class called as illustrated book, and this extends book. And as you can see here, this is book and illustrated book is a specialized class, so it is basically a subclass of book. In Swift, we use colon to indicate a class is extending another class. So here basically what we are trying to say is illustrated book is extending book class. Now instead of class, if I had made it as struct, then what would be the situation? You can't use inheritance with the struct. It will give you a compile time error saying that inheritance from non-protocol type book. You may not understand what do you mean by a protocol as of now, because it is completely a new concept. We will be visiting this protocol concept a bit later, but if you get the gist of the whole demonstration, classes can extend one another, but structs cannot extend one another. If you want to implement inheritance in a struct, then this is not the way to do it. There are some other ways of doing it, which we will be seeing in the future videos. So the main difference between a class and a struct in Swift is, one, Class is a reference type, struct is a value type, and classes can be inherited and extended, but struct cannot be in the classical sense. So with this, I basically end discussion about class and struct in Swift. In the next video, we will explore some of the other concepts in Swift programming. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.